What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate support. A lot of y'all have been sending me this for the past 3 days when I first seen it, but I was away, so we'll jump on it now. And this right here is another horrific story that deals with people treating other people like trash, regardless if they're strangers or their own children. And surprisingly, this story once again takes place in Pontiac, Michigan. Shout out Pontiac. What the hell is up with Pontiac, Michigan and child neglect and abuse? You know, I'm just saying, I don't live there, but this is the third story this year about something horrific happening to children in Pontiac, Michigan. And I know it's not the only place, but you see these two people up here, man and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever they are. Either way, they need to be tied together and dumped in the bottom of the ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, these two people that you see up here, this couple are parents to an 11-year-old boy, a 9-year-old boy, and multiple other children in the house. And they are under arrest right now for child cruelty and abuse charges. They beat and starved two of their children, an 11-year-old boy and his brother, a 9-year-old boy. The 11-year-old boy was in such bad shape. He weighed 43 pounds. 43 pounds at 11 years old. His 9-year-old brother weighed 33 pounds. That's less than a healthy 1-year-old. I want you to take a look at this story, and I'll come back and explain to you why I say some people are oxygen thieves and don't deserve another breath or to see another sun rise. Take a look.
Carolyn, turning now to a vicious case of child abuse, starvation, and torture. This is no doubt a story that will shake the Pontiac community yet again. Police say a 9-year-old boy was found unresponsive, taken to the hospital, where medical staff said he weighed only 33 pounds, was malnourished, and covered in bruises. After an investigation, prosecutors say his 11-year-old brother was also found malnourished, weighing just 43 pounds. At 5, 7 News Detroit reporter Ruta Ulsanaida brought us the disturbing evidence revealed during today's arraignment. And now at 6, she's talking one-on-one with the Oakland County Sheriff and asking a neighbor if there were any signs of trouble.
Why would you ever do this to any living creature, let alone your children?
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard is well aware there have now been 3 high-profile child abuse and neglect cases in Pontiac this year alone. Back in February, where investigators found 3 children were abandoned in squalor. Earlier this month, investigators found another 3 children living without plumbing. And now this latest case, Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald says it's the most disturbing one yet.
There was an intentional attempt to starve and torture.
In a virtual arraignment Tuesday, 43-year-old Arturo Bazan and 42-year-old Dulce Bazan were both denied bond, charged with 2 counts of first-degree child abuse and 2 counts of torture. Arturo's 24-year-old son was also charged but is not yet in custody. Investigators say Arturo found his 9-year-old son unresponsive and cold to the touch at this home on Going Street. He was taken to a local hospital where his family tried to say he had a medical condition, but investigators say that is not what doctors found.
He was severely malnourished and had injuries all over his body.
That's when the investigation ensued and a welfare check was done. Another 11-year-old boy was found in similar condition, while 2 other younger children inside the home were found in perfectly good health. Prosecutor McDonald tells me the 9-year-old malnourished boy weighed less than the healthy 1-year-old in the home.
Had they waited any longer, I think this would be a homicide.
Neighbors say on the outside it looked like any other happy home.
From the outside, they're a beautiful family.
But on the inside, investigators say the 2 boys were closed off from the rest of the world.
Painted windows so one cannot see in or out, and light is unable to get in. Both windows were secured shut with 3 screws each in a window lock.
Investigators say the children would even rummage through trash for food at school, but were both eventually taken out of the school system by the Bazans in September. After the first child neglect case in February, Sheriff Bouchard supported Senate Bill 492. He says if this had been voted on and passed, that 9-year-old boy may have avoided being on the brink of death.
There has to be an assurance a verification that that child is either enrolled in a different school or is in a safe situation.
Both the father and stepmother are due back in court on December the 5th. And as for that third person charge, the older brother, the sheriff tells me that they are actively working to bring him into custody. In Pontiac, I'm Rudolph Sinaida, 7 News Detroit.
All right, thank you so much, Ruda. Tonight, Local 4 is uncovering new horrific details in the case of two Pontiac parents accused of starving two of their children, one so severely that one of them went into cardiac arrest.
So hard to take this in. We first brought this to you last night. The couple is charged along with an adult son, and prosecutors say that son is the one who handed down the punishments. Lauren Kostick explains there's a lot to unpack here.
Well, many are wondering how this case slipped through the cracks. Those boys were pulled out of school back in September, just days into the new school year. But here's the catch. They didn't even attend school those other 2 days, which means the last time teachers had eyes on them was back in June. Inside this Pontiac home, investigators uncovered a terrifying case of child abuse. Arturo Bazan Perez and Dulce Crystal Bazan Castello are accused of starving and torturing their 11 and 9-year-old sons to the point one of them ended up in the hospital weighing just 33 pounds. Deputies say the boys were often given rice to eat. Their windows were also screwed shut and painted over. The mom's 24-year-old son was also charged in the case. Deputies found him in Waterford Township on Wednesday and took him into custody. So how did nobody notice this sooner? Pontiac school officials confirmed the boys were unenrolled in September, just 3 days into the school year. And before that, they had excellent attendance. But here's the issue. Schools technically aren't required to verify if the student enrolls somewhere else. The Oakland County Sheriff wants to change that to prevent more kids from falling through the cracks after 3 similar cases in Pontiac this year alone.
Had that legislation been in place before all 3 of these, they may have been prevented, or at the very least, we would have intervened sooner.
While there are cases like this that come to the public attention, there are hundreds and thousands of others that happen here in Oakland County that don't ever come to the forefront.
Blythe Tyler with Care House in Oakland County says sadly, it's not surprising, asking more people to speak up.
The importance of talking to kids often and also reporting suspected abuse. If you can do those 2 things, this world is going to be a much better place.
And that couple is due back in court on December 4th in Pontiac. The good news is we are told the boys, they are doing much better. Lauren Kostick, Local 4.
It's fucking sickening. And I would show them no mercy. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't know where this shit came from in human beings, in the justice system, that feel as though they should show heart to soulless people or grant mercy. These people won't get the death penalty for trying to instrument a death penalty against their kids. Don't you think about that? They're 11 and 9 years old. At that age, they should be fully functional to feed themselves, walk around, listen to commands, obey, and just be children. Nowadays, it's not like that. You got 2 people in a relationship. You got a 21-year-old fucktard son that they used as an instrument to commit cruelty against these other children. Said one of the babies had a heart attack, cardiac arrest. His heart just stopped beating because they were being tortured and starved, beaten, and deprived of food by the very parents that bore them. You got 3 adults here. Count them, 3. One of them's a female. Mother. No maternal instinct whatsoever. And I told you before, you're only as strong as the one that leads you. Boom, there you go there. This fucktard ass dude. They hated these kids. The other kids wasn't like that. And you always see that. We always see that. Some kids are fucked up in the family, other ones are not. Yet they're all around each other. They took these kids, screwed the windows shut, painted it black so they couldn't see out, and basically locked the door and had them in crypt type conditions. So basically they built their grave for them to slowly suffer and then die in. what should happen to them? They'll get fed 3 times a day, right? This boy right here, 21 years old, no voice of reason at all. Hey, these are my brothers. But I'm going to tell you something about hate and about aggression. It moves like a spirit between person to person that, you know, allow themselves to be in that situation. And what I mean by that is this. The father was passing down, the father passed down the dislike, right, to the children. Woman went along with it, because she, I guess, had dislike too. He makes the child here, his own kid, the disciplinarian, barely a man himself, of 2 children, and he's already sick and sadistic. He goes in a cycle. I would wall these people up, and I let them moan until their heart stop beating. It's sickening out here how people do each other, especially people with their own children. It's not really customary out here for people to kill their own kids. And a lot of times the kids are getting killed just for being kids. We talk about this all the time on here. You, this woman, and this boy beat on starving children intentionally. They were wasting away in front of your face. You fed them rice, barely enough to keep them alive so they could suffer in their misery that was undue to them, caused by you, all of you. I would bury these people alive right now. Seriously. Because it's not enough out here that deter people. I'm more than sure these animals knew about the 2 other Pontiac parents that did something to their kids. One woman left the kids in the house for years, and she would just drop food off at the door because the house was so dirty she didn't want to go in there, and the kids just suffered. The other one, story I just recently did about a woman that was all the way in another part of Michigan when her kids was found in the house, no running water. And now this shit, it comes in droves. And like they said, these stories make national headlines, but there are hundreds of stories that don't. Every day there are people suffering in silence, be it a man, a woman, or a child, whether they special needs, abused, or just being killed for being kids, because they have to depend on somebody else to keep them safe. And this type of stuff is happening. If this is a society of common sense and protecting of its citizens, extreme measures or punishments need to happen to extreme crimes when people didn't have it coming to them. If they're supposed to be protected in this country, this is an absolute abomination that this happened and keeps happening. Me, I have no conscience when it comes to dealing with fucktard people or people with sinister intent. I will slay the few to save the many. So I'm going to tell you something. When this thing really gets fixed, and eventually it will, I won't be here to see it, but it will. It's going to take a fanatical piece of shit like myself to get in office and say, you know what? We don't give a fuck about nothing but building this country in a positive and moving forward in a positive manner. So all of you fucktards out there that think it's cool to target people, starve your own children, beat your own children to death, throw people on the side of the road, touch kids, attack the elderly, all of that stuff, take advantage of people, scam, you're gone. You're gone. I'd do a great migration and I'd march motherfuckers to a desert and just leave them there. I'd stake them to the ground and let them waste away, because this shit is bullshit. We got humans out here hunting humans and just doing sick, sadistic things to them just because they feel as though they can. They knew those kids was going to die eventually. And it's always the same shit. They get a phone call. The child's unresponsive. Get over there. Look at the baby. The motherfucker look like a fucking mummy. Oh, he got a medical condition. I ain't never seen a medical condition where somebody look like they half dead and wasting away, deprived of food. And it's the same cycle, because it's a certain type of mindset of person that does this. I blow their brains out their motherfucking head. This is stupid shit, y'all. It is. We see and hear about this stuff so much that it almost becomes normal. Like, damn, that's messed up. And then we'll watch something else and it'll take away from the contemplation that this is a reality in this country. I don't give a fuck about foreign affairs and policy and all that shit when the shit is fucked up over here. I think it's a big brainwashing out here right now where people are talking about how America is the greatest country and this and that. And if you look at it, it's rotten from the inside out and it needs to be clean like the toilet that it is. America's shit right now. And a lot of people need to keep it real. Don't nobody benefit from real justice out here nowadays when you're a victim or the family of a victim. These kids were starved. That's one of the most horrific, painful ways to die. Whether you die or you're near death, it hurts. Your body eats itself from the inside out. Your organs start to dissolve. And then the thing is this, they were starved for so long. I want you to hear me. When they get back to normal, where their vital signs and all this stuff come back to normal, they gain weight back, they still look like they suffered some horrific trauma because the development and growth of their body will be different because they were starved of nutrients for so long. It alters your body. They didn't care about that. To them, it didn't matter. They seen death was coming. And they put it on these children. What do you think would have happened if one of them kids died in the room? More than likely, they didn't check on them a lot. So one would have seen the other die and then know his turn is coming next. That's as cruel as it gets. And the punishment need to fit the fucking crime. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Fuck these people. Especially this young piece of shit that didn't do anything and he's old enough to say something.